It's Tiki Technical Tuesday. It's a gray, rainy fall day, and we're going to get started making molds. As you can see, I began yesterday actually making my molds, prepping everything for molding. We have the section 1 and section 2 of the mug. This guy is just about ready for plaster. I have to fill this up with plaster, and that'll be a 1-piece mold for this part of the mug. This part of the mug is going to be a 5-piece mold, and I put them on this little chair because it makes them comfortable. No, it's because it makes it a lot easier for me to mold. I can then lay this down this way and make my sides for the mold and stuff like that. Anyway, you'll see as the day progresses. And you can see I've got my little parting lines drawn on there already, planning out how this is gonna, fit together. Anyway, time to get going. Woo! Hey, it's 10 o'clock. I am applying mold soap in many layers to the wooden bits of this mold form to keep the plaster from sticking. It's a release agent. Plaster likes to stick. If you have been wondering why the skull has a chef's hat on, it is because that will be the part that I pour the slip into once this is actually a plaster mold. So plaster mold is going to be 6 inches high on each side, or 5 inches high, 6 inches wide, blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be called the well. It'll be this hollow form that will hold slip when I fill it up. And as the moisture gets pulled through the plaster, the slip level drops. And this makes sure that if I had started the mold here, the slip level wouldn't drop below the surface of the mug. So this is the well. It's a good thing to put in your molds if you're making molds. And always make sure you use plenty of release. See you guys in an hour. Success! Well, I think it's successful. It didn't blow up or anything. It's noon. I am off for lunch and to pick up some more plaster and other mold making supplies that I'm going to need. And I think I've also got to do a meeting. So I may not catch up with you until later this afternoon. Yeah, super happy about this. Woo! It's about 2:30. I have 200 pounds of plaster here that I just got from George's Eugene, my favorite clay store. Heading back to the studio now. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. The sun amazingly has come out, and I'm going to now open up this mold, clean it out, and get it ready for making a silicone master mold. Because every mold that I make in the studio, these original plaster molds, get remolded into a master mold that allows me to cast multiple production plaster molds. It's super complicated, don't worry about it. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing for a little bit today. And then tomorrow I'm gonna tackle the section 2 of this now that I have a whole bunch of new plaster. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Got the mold opened up, cleaned up, sanded, ready for molding in silicone, but there's a small problem. Uh-oh, it broke just a little bit. That's okay. It was a calculated risk I took using that metal pie tin as the base for this mold. I knew when you're molding a rigid object with a rigid material, there's always a risk of it breaking when you demold it. The good news is, this is the critical part, the interior part. This part doesn't matter. You'll see why I did this later. And so since I'm making a silicone master mold, all I have to do is super glue this back together, bink, mold it with silicone, and then cast the new plasters, and you'll never know that the break was there. Woo-hoo. It's 5 o'clock. I am on the computer. Behold the new toy shelf. Ooh. Doing some website redesign. We're shipping our e-commerce site from Square to something else, and it needs some visual tweaking before we can make that all happen. I am going to not start the next section of the mold until tomorrow. I can have a whole day to work on it so I can tackle all 5 pieces in one go instead of letting it sit overnight. Yeah, so it's a good day. I probably got another half hour here, and then we're heading to Eugene's local tiki bar for Tiki Tuesday. Can't wait. See you next Tuesday.